Abandoned Triceratops calf finds a friend in a human child. What follows is heartwarming. How will this beautiful story unfold? To find out, watch the video to the end. But first, please subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications to get more stories like this. The early morning sun illuminated the lush green plains of a small countryside town. Amidst the peaceful quiet of the valley, a young boy named Liam, no older than 6, wandered near the edges of his family's sprawling farmland. Liam's family owned a modest piece of land where they raised livestock and grew vegetables. The boy often spent his mornings exploring the nearby woods, his curiosity leading him to countless small adventures. Today, however, was different. As Liam trudged through the tall grass, a strange noise reached his ears. It wasn't the chirping of birds or the rustling of leaves. It was something deeper, a faint and mournful cry. Intrigued, Liam followed the sound, weaving through bushes and trees until he stumbled upon a sight he could hardly believe. There, in a small clearing, stood a creature unlike anything he'd ever seen. It had the size and shape of a calf, but its body was covered in scaly, leathery skin. Its head was adorned with a frill-like crest and 3 small horns, 1 on its nose and 2 above its eyes. The creature looked weak, its legs trembling as it let out another pitiful cry. Liam's eyes widened in amazement. "A dinosaur?" he whispered, hardly daring to believe what he saw. He'd read about dinosaurs in books and seen them in movies, but to see one alive in front of him was something entirely unimaginable. The little dinosaur, a young Triceratops, turned its large, watery eyes toward Liam. It let out another soft cry, a sound that seemed to plead for help. Without hesitation, Liam slowly approached, his small hands extended in a gesture of peace. "Hey, little guy," Liam said softly, crouching down to the creature's level. "It's okay. I won't hurt you." The Triceratops sniffed the air cautiously, its body trembling with both fear and exhaustion. Liam noticed scratches and bruises on its scaly hide, as though it had been through a rough ordeal. Its ribs were visible beneath its thick skin, hinting at hunger and neglect. Liam's heart ached. "You're all alone, aren't you?" he asked gently. "Don't worry, I'll take care of you." Moving carefully, Liam reached into his pocket and pulled out a half-eaten apple he'd been saving as a snack. He placed it on the ground and took a step back, watching as the young Triceratops hesitated before cautiously sniffing the fruit. After a moment, it took a small bite, chewing slowly. "That's it," Liam encouraged with a smile. "See? It's good." As the Triceratops finished the apple, Liam decided he couldn't leave the creature alone in the woods. It was clear the poor thing needed help, and Liam felt an overwhelming sense of responsibility. He didn't know where it had come from or how it ended up here, but he was determined to give it a safe place to stay. "Come on," Liam said, standing up and motioning for the creature to follow. "My house is just over there. You'll be safe with me." To his surprise, the Triceratops hesitated only briefly before taking a wobbly step toward him. Its large eyes seemed to hold a glimmer of trust, as if it sensed Liam's kind intentions. Together, the boy and the young dinosaur made their way back to the farm, the morning sun casting long shadows behind them. When they reached the edge of the property, Liam realized he had a challenge ahead of him. His parents were inside the house, and he had no idea how they would react to a dinosaur on their farm. Deciding it was best to keep the Triceratops hidden for now, he led it to an old barn that hadn't been used in years. "This will be your new home," Liam said. Opening the creaky wooden door, the Triceratops stepped inside cautiously, its nose twitching as it sniffed the unfamiliar surroundings. "I'll bring you food and water, and I'll make sure no one finds you." True to his word, Liam spent the rest of the day sneaking supplies to the barn. He brought fresh hay, vegetables from the garden, and buckets of water. The Triceratops seemed to grow more comfortable with each passing hour, even nuzzling Liam's hand as a sign of gratitude. Liam decided to name the creature Trixie, a nod to its species. Over the next few days, the bond between Liam and Trixie grew stronger. The young dinosaur followed him around the barnyard, its clumsy movements often making Liam laugh. Despite its rough start in life, Trixie began to thrive under Liam's care. However, keeping Trixie a secret wasn't easy. Liam had to come up with excuses whenever his parents asked why he was spending so much time near the old barn. He also had to ensure that none of the farmhands stumbled upon Trixie during their daily rounds. One afternoon, while Liam was playing with Trixie in the barn, his older sister Emily wandered in. "Liam, what are you doing in here?" she asked, her eyes narrowing suspiciously. Liam froze, his heart racing. He quickly stepped in front of Trixie, trying to block her from view. "Nothing, just cleaning up." Emily raised an eyebrow. "Cleaning up? You never clean up. What are you hiding?" Before Liam could stop her, Emily stepped around him and gasped. "What is that?" "It's Trixie," Liam admitted reluctantly. "She's a dinosaur. I found her in the woods, and she needed help." Emily stared at the young Triceratops in disbelief. "A dinosaur? Liam, are you serious? Where did it come from?" "I don't know," Liam said honestly, "but she's my friend, and I'm taking care of her." To Liam's surprise, Emily didn't yell or run to tell their parents. Instead, she crouched down to get a closer look at Trixie. "She's kind of cute," Emily admitted, reaching out to touch the dinosaur's frill. Trixie leaned into the touch, her eyes closing in contentment. Liam sighed in relief. "You won't tell Mom and Dad, will you?" Emily hesitated, then shook her head. "Not if you promise to let me help take care of her." From that day on, Emily became an ally in Liam's mission to protect Trixie. The siblings worked together to keep the young dinosaur hidden and ensure she had everything she needed. Trixie, in turn, brought a sense of wonder and joy to their lives, her playful antics brightening even the dullest days. But as the weeks went by, it became clear that Trixie couldn't stay hidden forever. She was growing rapidly, and her presence was becoming harder to conceal. Liam and Emily knew they needed to come up with a plan, a way to keep Trixie safe while also giving her the life she deserved. And so, the siblings embarked on a journey that would change their lives, and Trixie's, forever. In the days that followed, Trixie's presence became a central part of Liam and Emily's lives. The two siblings dedicated themselves to her care, marveling at her incredible growth and the unique characteristics of her species. Trixie's frill became more pronounced, her horns began to grow, and she quickly developed a playful yet protective nature. Liam often joked that she was like a giant puppy, following them around the barn whenever they visited. Despite the joy Trixie brought, her size was becoming an increasing concern. The old barn, while spacious enough when she was smaller, was quickly proving inadequate as she grew larger by the week. It wasn't just her physical growth that posed challenges. Her presence was becoming harder to keep a secret. The sound of her movements and occasional vocalizations risked drawing the attention of the farmhands. One particularly close call came when Mr. Grayson, one of the more curious farmhands, decided to check on the unused barn during his rounds. Liam, noticing him approaching, sprinted across the field to intercept him. "Hey, Mr. Grayson," Liam called, trying to sound casual. "What are you doing?" The older man stopped, his weathered face narrowing with suspicion. "Just checking the barn, lad. Haven't been in there in years. Thought it might be time to clean it up." "Oh, there's nothing in there," Liam said quickly, stepping in front of the barn door. "It's just full of old junk. I was gonna clean it out myself." Mr. Grayson raised an eyebrow. "You? Cleaning? That'll be the day." Liam forced a laugh. "Yeah, well, I figured it'd be a good project. You don't need to worry about it." The farmhand studied him for a moment, then shrugged. "Suit yourself. But if you need help, let me know." As Mr. Grayson walked away, Liam let out a sigh of relief. Inside the barn, Trixie let out a low, questioning rumble, as if sensing the tension. Liam patted her snout reassuringly. "Don't worry, girl. I won't let anyone hurt you." Emily, who had been watching from a distance, joined him in the barn. "That was too close," she said, her voice filled with concern. "We can't keep this up forever, Liam. Someone's going to find her." Liam nodded reluctantly. "I know, but what can we do? If anyone finds out about her, they might take her away or worse." Emily bit her lip, her mind racing. "We need help. Someone who can protect her and give her a proper home." "But who?" Liam asked. We can't just go to anyone. They might not understand. The siblings spent the next few days brainstorming ideas. Emily suggested contacting an animal sanctuary, but Liam worried that Trixie would be treated as a scientific specimen rather than a living creature with feelings. Finally, they decided to approach Dr. Evelyn Carter, a local paleontologist who had given a lecture at Liam's school the previous year. Dr. Carter was known for her work with fossils and had a reputation for being compassionate and open-minded. The challenge was convincing their parents to take them to Dr. Carter's research center without revealing the real reason. Emily came up with the idea of pretending Liam needed help with a school project on dinosaurs. Their parents, busy with the demands of running the farm, agreed without much questioning. On the day of their visit, Liam and Emily loaded the back of their family's old pickup truck with supplies for Trixie, including a makeshift crate to keep her hidden. Trixie, sensing their urgency, cooperated surprisingly well, stepping into the crate without fuss. Good girl, Liam whispered, stroking her frill. The drive to the research center was nerve-wracking. Every bump in the road made the siblings glance nervously at the covered crate, and they held their breath whenever they passed another vehicle. By the time they arrived, Liam felt like his heart had been racing for hours. Dr. Carter greeted them warmly, her kind eyes lighting up when she saw Liam. Liam, so good to see you again. And this must be your sister. Emily nodded, her nerves barely concealed. Thank you for seeing us, Dr. Carter. Liam has something really important to show you. Dr. Carter led them to a private room filled with fossils, charts, and models of prehistoric creatures. So, what's this big project about? She asked, clearly intrigued. Liam and Emily exchanged a glance. Taking a deep breath, Liam said, It's not a project, Dr. Carter. We need your help. We found something. Alive. Dr. Carter's brows furrowed. Alive? What do you mean? Emily gestured toward the crate. It's better if we show you. With trembling hands, Liam removed the cover from the crate, revealing Trixie curled up inside. The young Triceratops blinked up at Dr. Carter, her large eyes filled with a mix of curiosity and trust. For a moment, there was complete silence as the paleontologist stared, her mouth opening and closing in shock. Is this? Dr. Carter began, but she couldn't finish the sentence. She knelt beside the crate, her eyes wide with wonder. This can't be real. A living Triceratops? How is this possible? We don't know, Liam admitted. I found her in the woods near our farm. She was hurt and scared, so I brought her home. We've been taking care of her, but she's getting too big, and we can't keep her hidden much longer. Dr. Carter reached out tentatively, her hand trembling as she touched Trixie's frill. This is extraordinary. She's healthy, too. You've done an incredible job taking care of her. Liam and Emily explained everything. How they found Trixie, how they kept her hidden, and their fears about what might happen if others discovered her. Dr. Carter listened intently, her expression shifting from amazement to determination. You did the right thing by bringing her here, Dr. Carter said firmly. But you're right. This isn't something you can handle alone. Trixie needs a safe, secure environment where she can grow and thrive. Do you know a place like that? Emily asked, her voice tinged with hope. Dr. Carter nodded. There's a sanctuary I work with that specializes in rare and endangered species. It's well protected and far from prying eyes. They have the resources to care for her properly. Relief washed over the siblings, but it was tinged with sadness. The thought of saying goodbye to Trixie was almost too much to bear. Will we still be able to see her? Liam asked, his voice breaking. Dr. Carter placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder. I'll make sure you can visit her, and I'll keep you updated on her progress. You've given her a second chance at life, Liam. That's something to be proud of. Arrangements were made to transport Trixie to the sanctuary. The process was carefully coordinated to ensure her safety and to keep her existence a secret. On the day of her departure, Liam and Emily spent hours with Trixie, saying their goodbyes. The young dinosaur seemed to sense their emotions, nuzzling them gently and letting out soft, comforting sounds. As the sanctuary's team arrived to take Trixie to her new home, Liam hugged her one last time. "I'll never forget you, Trixie," he whispered. "You'll always be my best friend." Trixie let out a low, mournful cry as she was loaded onto the transport vehicle. Tears streamed down Liam and Emily's faces as they watched her leave, but they took comfort in knowing she was going to a place where she would be safe and happy. In the weeks that followed, Dr. Carter kept her promise, sending updates and photos of Trixie settling into her new home. The young Triceratops quickly became a favorite at the sanctuary, her playful and affectionate nature winning the hearts of everyone who met her. For Liam and Emily, life on the farm returned to normal, but their adventure with Trixie left a lasting impact. It taught them the importance of compassion, courage, and doing what's right, even when it's difficult. And every time they visited Trixie at the sanctuary, they were reminded of the extraordinary bond they shared with a creature from another time, a bond that would never be forgotten. As Trixie began to adapt to her new home at the sanctuary, Dr. Carter invited Liam and Emily for a behind-the-scenes tour. The siblings were thrilled to see her again and learn more about how the sanctuary operated. The visit was both educational and deeply emotional, as it offered them a sense of closure while igniting their curiosity about the prehistoric world. Upon arriving at the sanctuary, the siblings were greeted by a team of experts who worked alongside Dr. Carter. The facility was vast, surrounded by tall fences and lush greenery, providing a safe haven for its residents. Dr. Carter led them to a special enclosure designed specifically for Trixie. It featured rolling hills, a small pond, and plenty of shade, mimicking the natural environment of her ancient ancestors. When Trixie spotted Liam and Emily, her reaction was immediate and heartwarming. She let out a series of excited trumpeting sounds and rushed toward them, her massive frame moving gracefully despite her size. The siblings laughed and cried as Trixie nuzzled them affectionately, clearly remembering the love and care they had given her. "She's doing remarkably well," Dr. Carter said, watching the reunion with a smile. "Her growth rate is unprecedented, and she's forming strong bonds with the staff here." Liam looked around the enclosure, his eyes wide with wonder. "Does she ever get lonely?" Dr. Carter's expression turned thoughtful. "That's something we've been considering. Triceratops were social creatures, so we're exploring ways to provide her with companionship. It's a challenge, but we're hopeful." The mention of companionship sparked an idea in Emily's mind. "What if there are more like her out there?" she asked. "If Trixie survived, maybe others did too." Dr. Carter nodded slowly. "It's a possibility, but finding another living dinosaur would require significant resources and expertise. It's not something we can undertake lightly." Despite the logistical challenges, the idea of discovering more prehistoric survivors stayed with Liam and Emily long after their visit. They began researching everything they could about paleontology, determined to understand more about the world Trixie came from. Their curiosity grew into a shared passion, and they found themselves dreaming of a future where they could contribute to the sanctuary's work. Meanwhile, news of Trixie's existence was kept strictly confidential. Dr. Carter and her team worked tirelessly to ensure the sanctuary remained a safe haven, free from the prying eyes of the public and the media. They implemented advanced security measures and maintained a policy of secrecy, knowing that the discovery of a living dinosaur could spark chaos and exploitation. But secrets, no matter how carefully guarded, have a way of slipping out. One day, while Liam and Emily were visiting the sanctuary, Dr. Carter received an urgent call. A drone had been spotted flying over the sanctuary, capturing footage of Trixie in her enclosure. The team immediately sprang into action, tracking the drone's operator and contacting authorities to confiscate the footage. Despite their swift response, the incident left everyone on edge. Dr. Carter gathered Liam, Emily, and the sanctuary staff for a meeting. "This is a reminder of how vulnerable we are," she said gravely. "We must be prepared for the possibility that word of Trixie's existence could spread. Our priority is her safety." The siblings felt a surge of protectiveness for Trixie. "What can we do to help?" Liam asked. Dr. Carter smiled at their determination. "You've already done so much. But if the worst happens, we'll need advocates who truly understand Trixie's story. People who can speak to her importance and ensure she's treated with the respect she deserves." Liam and Emily took her words to heart. They began volunteering at the sanctuary, learning everything they could about animal care and conservation. Their dedication earned them the respect of the staff, and they quickly became integral members of the team. As time went on, Trixie continued to thrive, becoming a symbol of hope and resilience for those who worked with her. The sanctuary's director, Mr. Whitaker, saw an opportunity to use her story to promote conservation efforts. "If we can't keep her existence a secret forever," he said during a staff meeting, "we should ensure that her story is told responsibly." Dr. Carter was initially hesitant but eventually agreed. She proposed a plan to release a carefully crafted documentary showcasing Trixie's journey, highlighting the importance of protecting rare and endangered species. The documentary would be filmed entirely within the sanctuary, ensuring Trixie's safety and privacy. When Liam and Emily heard about the plan, they were both excited and nervous. "Do you think it's a good idea?" Emily asked Dr. Carter. "I do," Dr. Carter replied, "but only if it's done right. We'll have full control over the narrative, and we'll emphasize the message of conservation and ethical responsibility." The documentary team arrived a few weeks later, setting up cameras and interviewing the sanctuary staff. Liam and Emily were invited to share their story, recounting how they found Trixie and the bond they had formed with her. Their heartfelt testimony brought many on the crew to tears, and it became clear that their voices would play a crucial role in the film's impact. Trixie, ever curious and cooperative, seemed to enjoy the attention. She often approached the cameras, her large eyes filled with wonder as she inspected the equipment. The crew captured breathtaking footage of her exploring her enclosure, interacting with the staff, and displaying her unique personality. When the documentary was finally released, it received widespread acclaim. Audiences around the world were captivated by Trixie's story, and the film sparked a global conversation about conservation and the ethical treatment of animals. Donations poured into the sanctuary, allowing them to expand their facilities and improve security measures. For Liam and Emily, the experience was life-changing. They felt a profound sense of purpose, knowing they had played a part in making a difference. Their bond with Trixie remained as strong as ever, and they continued to visit her regularly, cherishing every moment they spent together. As they stood by her side one sunny afternoon, watching her graze in the enclosure, Liam turned to Emily with a smile. "Who would have thought that finding her would change everything?" Emily nodded, her eyes shining with gratitude. "She changed us too, and she's not just our friend. She's our family." Trixie let out a contented rumble, as if agreeing with their sentiments. In that moment, surrounded by the beauty of the sanctuary and the love they shared, Liam and Emily knew that their journey with Trixie was far from over. It was just the beginning of a lifelong adventure, one filled with discovery, compassion, and the unbreakable bond between humans and the natural world. Liam and Emily visit Trixie at the sanctuary and share an emotional reunion. They inspire a documentary about Trixie, which raises awareness and funds for conservation efforts. The siblings find a deeper sense of purpose, solidifying their bond with Trixie and their commitment to her legacy. The global success of the documentary brought the sanctuary into the limelight, but with this fame came new challenges. Donations poured in, and visitors from around the world sent letters, gifts, and requests to see Trixie. However, maintaining the delicate balance between transparency and safeguarding her well-being became increasingly difficult. The sanctuary had to navigate a fine line between raising awareness and protecting Trixie from being viewed as a mere spectacle. Dr. Carter called an emergency meeting with her team, including Liam and Emily, who had by now become honorary members of the sanctuary staff. "The world's fascination with Trixie is growing," Dr. Carter began. "While this attention is bringing us resources to expand our work, it's also increasing the risk of exploitation. We need to create a long-term strategy to ensure her safety." Mr. Whitaker, the sanctuary director, chimed in. "One suggestion is to establish a virtual experience for the public. Instead of allowing physical visits, we could use augmented reality and online platforms to share Trixie's story and environment." Emily's face lit up. "That's a great idea. People can still connect with her story without disrupting her life." Liam added, "And we could even include educational content about dinosaurs, conservation, and the environment." It could inspire people to care about wildlife in their own communities. The team unanimously agreed, and work began on creating a cutting-edge virtual experience. Using state-of-the-art technology, they developed an immersive program that allowed users to explore Trixie's enclosure, interact with a digital version of her, and learn about the sanctuary's mission. The program even included a segment narrated by Liam and Emily, sharing their personal journey with Trixie. The virtual experience was a massive success. Schools adopted it into their science curricula, families enjoyed it as an educational activity, and conservationists praised its innovative approach. The sanctuary's message reached millions without compromising Trixie's safety or well-being. However, not everyone was supportive. Critics and skeptics began to emerge, questioning the authenticity of Trixie's existence. Some accused the sanctuary of fabricating her story for profit, while others demanded physical proof of her existence. The backlash was frustrating for the team, but they remained steadfast in their mission. "We can't let the doubters distract us," Dr. Carter told her staff. "Our focus is on Trixie and the positive impact she's having on the world. The truth will speak for itself." But the sanctuary's resolve was tested when a group of protesters appeared at their gates, demanding to see Trixie in person. They carried signs with slogans like, "Prove she's real," and "No more lies." The staff worked tirelessly to de-escalate the situation, but tensions ran high. Liam and Emily, deeply affected by the protests, decided to take action. They recorded a heartfelt video message addressing the public. Standing in front of Trixie's enclosure, they spoke passionately about their bond with her and the importance of protecting her. "Trixie isn't just a dinosaur," Emily said, her voice trembling with emotion. "She's a symbol of hope and resilience. We need to protect her, not for the spectacle, but for what she represents. A chance to learn from the past and create a better future." Liam added, "We've seen firsthand how much good her story has done. Let's not lose sight of that." The video went viral, touching the hearts of millions. Support for the sanctuary poured in, and many protesters reconsidered their stance. The incident served as a powerful reminder of the importance of clear communication and public engagement. As the months went by, the sanctuary continued to thrive. They expanded their research efforts, delving into the mystery of how Trixie had survived and whether other prehistoric creatures might still exist. Their findings were groundbreaking, shedding new light on the resilience of life and the interconnectedness of ecosystems. Liam and Emily, inspired by their experiences, decided to pursue careers in paleontology and conservation. They enrolled in a nearby university, where they excelled in their studies and became advocates for ethical wildlife practices. Their bond with Trixie remained a constant source of motivation, driving them to make a difference in the world. One day, during a routine checkup, Dr. Carter made a startling discovery. Trixie had begun exhibiting behaviors that suggested she might be ready to mate, a behavior unheard of in a creature believed to be the last of her kind. The possibility of finding a mate for Trixie reignited the team's earlier discussions about discovering other living dinosaurs. Dr. Carter convened a meeting with her team. "If Trixie is showing signs of wanting companionship, we have a responsibility to explore the possibility of finding another like her. It's a long shot, but it could change everything." The sanctuary launched an ambitious expedition to search for evidence of other prehistoric survivors. They collaborated with scientists, explorers, and conservationists from around the world, using advanced technology and innovative methods to explore remote and uncharted regions. Liam and Emily eagerly joined the effort, balancing their studies with fieldwork. The search was challenging, filled with setbacks and uncertainties, but it brought the team closer together. They shared a common goal and a deep sense of purpose, driven by the hope of uncovering more of the Earth's hidden wonders. Back at the sanctuary, Trixie continued to thrive, her bond with Liam and Emily as strong as ever. The siblings visited her regularly, sharing stories of their adventures and dreams. Trixie, in her own way, seemed to understand their words, responding with gentle nudges and contented rumbles. One evening, as they sat by her enclosure, Liam turned to Emily. "Do you ever think about what our lives would be like if we hadn't found her?" Emily smiled. "All the time. She's changed everything for us. But more than that, She's shown us what's possible when we care enough to make a difference. As the sun set over the sanctuary, casting a golden glow over the landscape, the siblings felt a profound sense of gratitude. They knew their journey with Trixie was far from over. Together, they had created a legacy of hope, compassion, and discovery. A legacy that would inspire generations to come. Months turned into years, and the sanctuary became a hub of groundbreaking research and conservation efforts. The search for other prehistoric creatures, fueled by Trixie's existence, captured the imagination of scientists and the public alike. The expedition teams explored deep caves, remote islands, and vast rainforests, collecting data and uncovering tantalizing clues. One such clue emerged from a remote island off the coast of Madagascar. Local villagers reported sightings of a large, horned creature roaming the dense jungle. The description bore a striking resemblance to Trixie, igniting hope among the sanctuary team. Dr. Carter decided to lead a team to investigate, with Liam and Emily eagerly joining the mission. The journey to the island was fraught with challenges. The terrain was rugged, the jungle dense and teeming with wildlife. The team faced torrential rains, treacherous trails, and the constant hum of mosquitoes. But their determination never wavered. One night, as they camped near a river, the team heard a distant, thunderous sound. A deep bellow that resonated through the jungle. Liam and Emily exchanged excited glances. Could it be? Liam whispered, his heart racing. Dr. Carter nodded. It's possible. Let's move cautiously and document everything. The team pressed on, following the sound deeper into the jungle. They came across massive footprints in the mud, their shape unmistakably similar to Trixie's. The realization filled them with a mix of awe and anticipation. They set up camera traps and monitored the area, hoping to catch a glimpse of the elusive creature. Days turned into weeks, and their patience was finally rewarded. Late one afternoon, as the team rested near a clearing, they spotted movement in the distance. A massive, horned dinosaur emerged from the foliage, its golden-brown skin glistening in the sunlight. It was a male Triceratops, larger and more robust than Trixie, with a commanding presence. The team was stunned into silence, their cameras capturing every detail. Dr. Carter whispered, "We've done it. We found another one." Liam and Emily were overcome with emotion. "He's magnificent," Emily murmured. "Trixie won't be alone anymore." The team spent several days observing the creature from a safe distance, documenting its behavior and gathering data. They named him Titan, a nod to his impressive stature. The discovery reignited global interest in the sanctuary's work and underscored the importance of conservation. Returning to the sanctuary, the team faced the daunting task of introducing Titan to Trixie. The process required careful planning and consideration to ensure both dinosaur safety and well-being. Dr. Carter and her team worked tirelessly to prepare the enclosure, creating a neutral space where the two could meet. The day of the introduction was filled with anticipation and anxiety. Liam and Emily stood by Trixie's side as Titan was gently led into the enclosure. The two dinosaurs regarded each other cautiously, their movements slow and deliberate. Trixie let out a low rumble, and Titan responded with a deep bellow. The sounds seemed to convey curiosity rather than aggression. Over time, the two dinosaurs grew comfortable in each other's presence. Their interactions became more playful and affectionate, much to the delight of the sanctuary staff. Liam and Emily often watched them from a distance, marveling at their bond. "They're like a prehistoric love story," Liam joked one afternoon, earning a laugh from Emily. The presence of Titan brought new challenges and opportunities for the sanctuary. His robust size and behavior provided invaluable insights into Triceratops' ecology and social dynamics. Researchers from around the world collaborated with the sanctuary, contributing to a growing body of knowledge about prehistoric life. The sanctuary also faced logistical challenges, including expanding the enclosure and securing additional resources to care for two dinosaurs. But the team tackled each obstacle with determination, driven by their commitment to Trixie and Titan. Meanwhile, Liam and Emily continued to balance their studies with their involvement in the sanctuary. They became passionate advocates for conservation, speaking at conferences, schools, and community events. Their personal connection to Trixie and Titan gave their message authenticity and emotional impact, inspiring others to take action. One day, as Liam and Emily visited the sanctuary, Dr. Carter pulled them aside. "I have some exciting news," she said with a smile. "We've observed courtship behavior between Trixie and Titan. There's a possibility they might mate." The siblings were ecstatic. "Are you serious?" Liam exclaimed. "This could change everything." Dr. Carter nodded. If successful, it would be a monumental step forward, not just for Triceratops, but for understanding how these creatures could thrive in today's environment. The sanctuary prepared for the possibility of a new addition, consulting with experts and implementing measures to support Trixie during a potential pregnancy. The news captured the world's attention, sparking a wave of excitement and curiosity. As the weeks passed, Trixie's behavior began to change. She became more protective of her space, and her appetite increased. The signs were subtle but promising. The sanctuary staff monitored her closely, ensuring she received the best care possible. One morning, as the sun rose over the sanctuary, Liam and Emily received a call from Dr. Carter. "You need to come to the sanctuary," she said, her voice filled with emotion. "It's happening." The siblings rushed to the sanctuary, their hearts pounding with anticipation. They arrived just in time to witness a miraculous moment. Trixie, surrounded by her caretakers, gave birth to a healthy, vibrant Triceratops calf. The tiny creature, with its soft horns and curious eyes, was a testament to the resilience of life. Liam and Emily were overcome with emotion as they watched the calf take its first wobbly steps. "It's incredible," Emily whispered, tears streaming down her face. "This is history in the making." The sanctuary celebrated the birth with joy and gratitude, recognizing the significance of the moment. The calf was named Nova, symbolizing a new beginning and the boundless possibilities of the future. News of Nova's birth spread like wildfire, capturing the imagination of people around the globe. The media frenzy was unlike anything the sanctuary had experienced before. Headlines proclaimed, "A baby dinosaur is born," and documentaries chronicling Trixie, Titan, and Nova's journey flooded streaming platforms. The sanctuary quickly became a symbol of hope, resilience, and the enduring connection between humans and nature. Visitors flocked to the sanctuary, eager to catch a glimpse of Nova. Schools arranged field trips, families traveled from far and wide, and scientists saw this as a golden opportunity to study a living piece of history. To accommodate the surge in interest, the sanctuary expanded its visitor programs, offering guided tours, educational workshops, and virtual experiences for those who couldn't make the trip. Despite the overwhelming attention, the sanctuary maintained its commitment to Nova's well-being. Dr. Carter and her team worked tirelessly to create an environment where the calf could thrive. Nova quickly became a symbol of hope, her playful antics and curious nature endearing her to everyone who met her. For Liam and Emily, Nova's birth marked a turning point. Their lives, once centered around the discovery of Trixie, now revolved around a new chapter of responsibility and wonder. They spent countless hours at the sanctuary, assisting with Nova's care and sharing their story with visitors. One sunny afternoon, as Liam and Emily watched Nova playfully chase butterflies in her enclosure, they reflected on how far they had come. "It feels like a dream," Liam said, his voice filled with awe. "We started with just Trixie, and now we're part of something so much bigger." Emily nodded, her gaze fixed on Nova. "She's not just a baby dinosaur. She's a beacon of hope, proof that anything is possible." Their bond with Nova deepened as the calf grew. Liam often joked that Nova thought she was part human, as she loved mimicking their actions, whether it was trying to balance on her hind legs like Liam or nuzzling against Emily for attention. The calf's innocence and curiosity reminded them of the magic of discovery. As Nova's story unfolded, the sanctuary faced new challenges and opportunities. The influx of visitors brought both financial support and logistical complexities. Dr. Carter and her team expanded their efforts to preserve the delicate balance between public engagement and the Triceratops' well-being. They implemented strict guidelines to ensure the safety of the dinosaurs while allowing visitors to experience their presence. The sanctuary's success also attracted the attention of influential figures. Philanthropists, environmentalists, and world leaders visited the sanctuary, offering support and pledging resources to further its mission. The ripple effect extended beyond the sanctuary, inspiring global conservation initiatives and fostering a renewed appreciation for nature. One memorable visit came from a renowned filmmaker who proposed creating a feature-length documentary about the sanctuary's journey. The film, titled A Prehistoric Legacy, chronicled Trixie's discovery, Titan's arrival, and Nova's birth. It showcased the dedication of the sanctuary team and the extraordinary bond between the dinosaurs and their human caretakers. The documentary premiered to critical acclaim, earning awards and accolades for its powerful storytelling. Audiences were moved by the emotional journey, and the film became a rallying cry for conservation efforts worldwide. Liam and Emily, featured prominently in the documentary, found themselves thrust into the spotlight as ambassadors for the sanctuary's mission. While the world celebrated the sanctuary's achievements, the team remained focused on the future. Dr. Carter spearheaded efforts to expand research and conservation programs, including exploring the possibility of cloning other prehistoric species. The sanctuary also partnered with international organizations to protect endangered habitats and promote sustainable practices. For Liam and Emily, the journey was deeply personal. They often revisited the spot where they first encountered Trixie, reflecting on the moment that changed their lives forever. It's amazing how one encounter can set off a chain of events that changes the world, Emily said during one such visit. Liam nodded. Trixie wasn't just a dinosaur. She was a catalyst, a reminder of what's possible when we open our hearts to the unknown. As Nova grew, so did her impact. She became a symbol of hope for future generations, inspiring children to dream big and believe in the impossible. Schools incorporated her story into their curriculums, emphasizing the importance of curiosity, compassion, and environmental stewardship. One day, as Liam and Emily watched Nova play alongside Trixie and Titan, Dr. Carter approached them with a proposal. We've been discussing the possibility of establishing a new sanctuary, one that could accommodate more discoveries like Trixie and Titan. We want you two to be part of the leadership team. The siblings were taken aback. Us? Led a sanctuary? Emily asked, her voice tinged with disbelief. Dr. Carter smiled. You've been with us since the beginning. Your passion, dedication, and connection with these creatures make you the perfect candidates. Liam and Emily exchanged a glance, their expressions a mix of excitement and trepidation. It's a big responsibility, Liam said. But if it means continuing Trixie and Nova's legacy, we're in. The decision marked the beginning of a new chapter for the siblings. They immersed themselves in the planning and development of the new sanctuary, drawing on their experiences and the lessons they had learned. The project became a labor of love, a testament to their unwavering commitment to conservation and discovery. Years later, as the new sanctuary opened its doors, Liam and Emily stood at the entrance, reflecting on the journey that had brought them here. The facility was a state-of-the-art haven, designed to protect and nurture prehistoric creatures while educating and inspiring the public. As the first visitors arrived, they were greeted by the sight of Nova, now a magnificent adult Triceratops, standing proudly alongside Trixie and Titan. The dinosaur's presence was a powerful reminder of the sanctuary's mission and the extraordinary journey that had made it all possible. Liam and Emily felt a deep sense of fulfillment as they watched the visitors marvel at the dinosaurs. Their journey, which had begun with a single encounter in a forest, had grown into a movement that transcended boundaries and inspired a global community. As the sun set over the sanctuary, painting the sky in hues of orange and gold, Liam turned to Emily. We've come a long way, haven't we? Emily smiled, her eyes reflecting the warmth of the setting sun. And it's just the beginning.